Small Town Recognition Program. And there will be a fifth program that will be added in the 23-24 school year, which will be the National First Generation Recognition Program. To qualify, students must meet the eligibility requirements, which are they must have a 3.5 GPA or higher at the time they are applying. Weighted and unweighted GPAs are considered. They must have a permanent address in the United States, U.S. territory, military base, or attend a DO/DEA school. And U.S. citizenship is not required. They must identify as Black, African American, Latino, Hispanic, Indigenous, Native, or attend high school in a rural area or small town. And they must have taken the PSAT 10 in spring 2022 or the PSAT NMSQT in fall 2022, or at least 2 district AP exams in 8th, 9th, or 10th grade. It's quite a lot that they need to have. And so we are pleased to share with you tonight that we have several students who have met this recognition. So I want to start with students from Blanson CTE High School. So I'll read the names and they'll make their way up. Virginia Anyanwu, NAARA. Emmanuel Avellaneda, NHRA. Corey Clark, NAARA. Osiel Contreras, NHRA. Kevin Diaz, NHRA. Sydney Hatfield, NAARA. Yahaira Hernandez, NHRA. Cristina Juarez, NHRA. Yael Luna, NHRA. Denise Rangel, NHRA. Amani Vasquez, NHRA. Yahaira Yanes, NHRA. And Rosalinda Zigrida Stewart, NAARA. And before we, I also want to highlight for you, well, actually, let's go ahead and give them a round of applause, because this is a huge accomplishment. And while you're up here, it's important that we recognize that Blanson CTE High School has also received the AP School Honor Roll. They are recognized. The AP School Honor Roll recognizes schools whose AP programs are delivering results for students while broadening access. Schools can earn this recognition based on a commitment to increasing college-going culture, providing opportunities for students to earn college credit, and maximizing college readiness. They also earned the AP Access Award. The AP Access Award recognizes schools providing all students with a chance to participate in AP, including students of underrepresented populations. Congratulations to the students and also to our principal and his team at Blanson CTE. Thank you, kiddo. I'm excited that I can keep going because we have a lot of students tonight to recognize. And so we want to bring up our kiddos from Avalos P-Tech High School. Jared Bautista, NHRA. Aaron Severero, NHRA. Miguel Cuevas, NHRA. Come on up. You can come on up. Miriam Herrera, NHRA. Christopher Ledesma, NHRA. Edgar Mendoza, NHRA. Sandy Ortiz, NHRA. Sebastian Rodriguez, NHRA. Amy Vallejo, NHRA. And Elaine Villeda, NHRA. And I know they're not all here tonight, but they may be watching from home, so we want to make sure that we congratulate all of them. So proud. This is wonderful. And we keep going with Carver Magnet High School. The students from Carver Magnet High School, we have Diane Chagoya, NHRA. Alyssa Dorsey, NAARA. Carlos Forero, NHRA. Diana Herrera, NHRA. Alexandra Martinez, NHRA. Tiana Shine, NAARA. Tatiana Smith, NAARA. Congratulations to all of the Carver Magnet High School awardees. Awesome. Next up, Davis High School. At Davis High School, we have Lauren Stewart, NARA.
There are no Davis representatives here tonight with other conflicting activities today, but we're going to go ahead and honor the names of the students, and they will get their certificates as well.
Awesome. Okay, yes, let's make sure that we honor them. So, Lunica Lewis, NAARA. Yosiel Rodriguez Toledo, NHRA. Adrian Cortez, NAARA, and NHRA. So, congratulations to them. MacArthur High School, are you in the house? All right.
You know that.
Principal Showers. All right, MacArthur High School. Here we go. Marlene Bermudez, NHRA. Noe Carrillo, NHRA. Khalil Chambers, NAARA. Michael Guevara, NHRA. Lisa Hernandez, NHRA. Lupita Hernandez, NHRA. Jaciel Ibarra, NHRA. Vanessa Macias, NHRA. Aritzi Martinez, NHRA. Shania Murphy, NAARA. Josue Rebolloso, NHRA. Josue Quesada, NHRA. Rafael Vasquez, NHRA. Congratulations to all of our MacArthur awardees. Wow. How proud, Miss Showers. Wonderful. Great job, kiddos. And now we have Victory Early College High School. All right. We have two esteemed scholars at Victory Early College High School, Carolyn Figueroa, NHRA, and Lucia Tamez from NHRA. And we are celebrating nonetheless, so congratulations to your two students. Thank you. So we are grateful for our students who are here, and those who are not, we are still super glad of their accomplishments. So congratulations to all of our nationally recognized students. Thank you.
And Chief of Staff.
Good evening. Good evening, Mr. Bates, board members, Dr. Goffney, those who are in attendance, those who are watching, and those who wish they were here. It is always difficult to follow the students. You do it every month, but here we are. So congratulations to all that were here. Let's give them a round of applause. Tonight, I have the honor of allowing us to celebrate staff, community members, and other partners. But before we do that, I'd like to thank the students from Odom Elementary for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance and pledge the Texas flag, and also acknowledge the MacArthur JROTC Color Guard for leading us in the presentation of colors. And while they are not here, let's give them a round of applause in case they're watching. So, Mr. Bates, or President Bates, we are just a few weeks into the fall season and enjoying everything that comes with it. A few of us, when we pulled out of the driveway this week, our tire light may have come on. And that usually happens, Mr. Shanklin, when there's a cold front or two. We're also donning our brightest pink in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're wearing colorful garb and dresses to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, sporting our favorite jersey on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, go Astros, in support of the Houston Astros. But we also can't forget about the Texans. We're also acknowledging Bosses Day, honoring principals, pausing for National School Lunch Week. October is busy. There's absolutely a lot to do in the fall. But while I'm here, I'd love to just invite everyone who's watching and listening and joining us here to learn more about our district programs at the annual Fall Festival that our Family and Community Engagement team does. They do it every single year, and they do it at Davis High School, and it gives our community and staff, our community, our parents and families an opportunity to really understand the programs, the services, the classes, the options that are happening inside and around our schools. And so I encourage you to join us on Saturday at 9 a.m. for the annual Fall Festival, and it'll be at Davis High School. And then, because in October, we also like a little sweet treats, and on October 26th, we are inviting the Little Ghosts and Goblins to a trunk or treat, and that's being put on by our Aldine Police Department. As you know, it's Protect and Serve, and so they are hosting a free community event for kids of all ages to enjoy live music, refreshments, and there's even a costume contest. I think I'm gonna go as myself. Of course, there's always this month, as I mentioned, a lot to do, so we also celebrate people. I mentioned the principals, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but it's School Custodian Appreciation Day happened this month, and it allowed us to recognize the incredibly important work for the custodial staff that it works day in and day out to keep our buildings, facilities, and establishments clean and safe. We also recognize coaches. Did y'all know they have their own day? National Coaches Day. Athletic coaches, instructional coaches, literacy coaches, math coaches, me coaches. It gave us a chance to say thank you. And for the athletic coaches, we know that they spend a lot of time with our students, ensuring that they're serving as mentors and also a source of inspiration. If you haven't figured it out, I might be a sports fan, Houston sports fan, but I'm also a Aldine sports fan. And so our MacArthur High School tennis team won their 8th straight district title. Let's give them a round of applause. I also want to keep going, Ms. Avalos, with MacArthur and acknowledge the boys and girls cross-country teams who no one likes to see coming because they're going to win. And they also won their district title. I don't have a number here because it's infinite at the number of times they've won. Let's give them a round of applause. Oh, look, a birdie said 15th straight district title for the boys. And then it's football season. And we love them all 5 of them. But I do want to acknowledge that the Nimitz football team, the Cougars, did I hear something? Y'all were excited? They are currently 6-1, which is amazing. Y'all should be clapping right now. And by the way, they play on Thursdays and Fridays, all 5 of our teams, so you can just go out to George Stadium at 7 o'clock on Thursday or Friday and cheer on whoever is out there. And then I also don't want to forget about our water sports. Dr. Goffney, the water polo teams, y'all, we are winners, right? Our water polo team, Davis High School, the girls and boys water polo teams are in area playoffs. I am trying to master swimming, so I don't know about playing something there. But before I get off track with sports, there's a lot to celebrate there, but also none of this can happen without our principals who are the leaders of our buildings. And so October is Principals Month. And if any of our principals are watching, I know we got to see a few of them. There's some in the audience. I want to pause and tell you thank you. We hope you know how much we value each and every one of you. Your continued hard work allows us to celebrate your students and your staff. And sometimes you may not get all of the shine and glory, but today this is yours. So I'd like to bring up a former principal that we took out of the building and asked her to celebrate with us and lead our family and community engagement department, Ms. Georgina Feroy. Come on, Georgina. And as she's coming up, we call her Gina, she's going to share more about family and community engagement. What you need to understand is our department serves our community, and we do that by working with our community. And so I've asked her to acknowledge some of our partners who have helped us support our families. Gina?
Let me put this at my level. Good evening, President and Dr. Goffney. Thank you. Good evening to everybody. So I am Gina Feroy. I'm the Executive Director of the FACE Department, and I'm so lucky to lead this department. They are a small but mighty team, and I promise you they cover a lot of ground. We do have 3 recognitions today. The first one is we'd like to recognize the Hope Worldwide. They have partnered with Caraway Elementary, and volunteers in this organization work to help build resilience in children through arts and sports. This program initially began in Houston in 2018 in response to Hurricane Harvey, working with students who experienced devastating flooding with delayed recovery. The program has transitioned away from natural disasters, focusing now more on students' general life stressors that can impact lifelong health and behavioral issues. We are excited about the partnership with and the positive impact that it will have on the lives of our students. So I believe we have Jill Sharney and Sarah Prather here. They are the 2 that we are acknowledging today. Thank you so much for the work. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Are doing an amazing.
Thank you so much for your support. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. Our next, thank you. Our next recognition is for the Houston Food Bank. They have been instrumental in supporting Aldine families and communities with a variety of programs to meet the needs of food insecurity. This year, they have provided support to hundreds of families in our district, and we are definitely grateful for their continued partnership. I believe we have Kiana Anderson, who is the Senior Manager of School Partnerships here, to accept this recognition. Thank you so much. And our last but not least recognition, we would like to recognize our own department leader who was spotlighted at the Mayor's Adult Literacy Breakfast earlier this month for the work that is being done in Aldine ISD through the Family and Community University. He shared his powerful story, which is what fuels him to serve with passion and purpose. This year, the university has already enrolled 637 parents in 1 month. I am excited to tell you that this is 78% of last year's enrollment. So excellent job for that accomplishment. We look forward to continued success, and obviously this recognition is for Mr. Ivan Tamayo with the FACE Department.
I want to say some words. I'm not prepared, but I want to say some words. Mr. Bates, Dr. Goffney, members of the board, it's for me an honor to receive this recognition. I'm just doing my work because I love what I do, and it's daily work, so I really love to do it. And I receive it on behalf of all the families in Aldine and their communities that are out there eager to learn and have an options for doing that. Thank you so much.
Audience members, I don't know if you understand what Gina mentioned, is that we have a family and community university where we offer classes and courses for our community and family members to help advocate for their students. And so those programs are offered in person, online, at different schools, all times of the day. And it's all a variety of programs. It could be learning how to read, learning how to speak Spanish, learning how to speak English, understanding how to cook in healthy ways. There's learning how to help your child with math homework. It's a variety of things, and it's all designed to advocate for your student. And at the end of the year, our community university participants graduate. And so in May, they walk across the stage. We play Pomp and Circumstance. They have on their graduation gowns, and it's really a sight to see. And it's an honor to be able to celebrate with those students. So for us to have already reached 78% participation this year tells us we're doing something right. And I just want to thank, again, Mr. Tamayo for your work, because this is his passion. It's what he does. And for him to be passionate about it and someone else to recognize it, not just us, but the mayor's office of adult literacy helps us know that we're doing something right. So thank you, Mr. Tamayo. Y'all were supposed to clap. Yeah. I just have one more area before I sit down, and it is that we'd like to honor our staff members. And so each month we host a series of employee recognitions, and we do that. We set aside the time to ensure that we showcase staff members who represent the district's values in the most exceptional ways. These employees epitomize what it means to be an Aldine ISD leader. That is connecting with each other, inspiring themselves and others, and impacting student success. And we do this every month, and we will use our district's leadership definition to do so, and you can see it there. Tonight, we have just one area that is going to honor an employee, and that is the human resources area. And I'd invite Dr. Williams to come and honor their employee of the quarter.
Good evening. Mr. Bates, Dr. Goffney, and the members of the board, I'd like to present to you Ms. Kathy Wells as the employee of the quarter in the Human Resources Department. Kathy has been employed in Aldine since 1998. She began her career in Aldine as a substitute teacher, and in 2001, she transitioned to the Human Resources Department. Currently, she's the PEMS clerk. Kathy is the recipient of this award because of her impact she has on our department. Recently, the HR employee who was responsible for service records retired, and Kathy volunteered selfishly to come and to take on those responsibilities as well as her other ones. And so for that, you guys know that service records during the summertime, there's a lot coming in and there's a lot going out. And there was no interruption in service. We have 30 business days to deliver those service records, and Kathy handled it like a champ. So for those reasons, we selected Kathy as the employee of the quarter. So congratulations, Kathy. Well done.
Thank you and congratulations, Ms. Wells. A final reminder is that we will host our final Bond 2023 community meeting next Wednesday at Carver High School, where information about the bond will be provided. For more information about our propositions, there are flyers for you to take home right outside the boardroom, and you can also visit our website at www.aldineisd.com/bond2023. We look forward to seeing you at the meeting. And Mr. Bates, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. And again, congratulations to everyone that was recognized this evening. We'll now move to the consent agenda items and items for board action tonight. The board has had board agenda items in their possession for study and discussed them at length in the study session last night. We appreciate feedback from our community, and as such, we'll hear from citizens regarding any agenda item to be voted on by the board at this time. Ms. Laera, did you receive any online written comments or forums from members of the public that are here? Please proceed.
Okay, we did receive several online, and I have a few here. This first one states, "Hello, I graduated from Aldine ISD in 2011, and it was sad to see M.O. Campbell be reconstructed. I believe that the elderly man whose house is next to the stadium should not be confiscated. I believe that this house nor the man has not been a problem at all with events being held there. This is a man's house. There are memories there, and would be so sad for this man to see his home to be torn down because of the construction, and I don't believe this would be used as parking. This man should stay there with his family." Another one reads, "No person at any time should be forced from their rightful dwelling. Travis Upchurch should be allowed to stay where he is, find another option." This other one reads, "The use of eminent domain to access property for the stadium parking lot is a gross misuse of authority. The planning and implementation of the stadium failed to take into account those that would reject selling their property outright. And that is a disservice to both the school district and the community. The school district has put their failure of proper planning onto the back of this man and the choice to retain his own property. Advancement and growth are not a reason enough to circumvent his property rights in order to make room for parking. I am hoping this board will reach an agreement that will honor his property rights and reassess the results of poor planning that has made this an issue. Respectfully, Cindy Kraus." And then other forms from the audience.
Okay, thank you very much. Each person who is present in the boardroom and addresses the board will have 3 minutes to speak. There's a clock at the podium and on the wall that will indicate when your 3 minutes are up. When necessary for effective meeting management or to accommodate large numbers of individuals wishing to address the board, the presiding officer may make adjustments to public comment procedures, including adjusting the time allotted to each speaker. Because of topic posting requirements of the Open Meetings Act, board members will not answer any questions posed to the board by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented during this time. Finally, be aware that the rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period. Please refrain from making comments directed at specific individual employees or students by name to avoid any potential breach of confidentiality. If you have complaints regarding specific individuals, please provide those in writing addressed to the superintendent for her attention. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequences of his or her own statements. And we will begin with Ms. Tina Robertson.
Good evening. Mine is short and sweet this time. I want to thank my brother Travis and sister Tara for their tireless effort to make my father's eminent domain issue known, not only to the entire Aldine ISD community, but to people across the country. Support from the community, family, and friends has been outpouring since our father received a letter from Heidecker Land Services, Inc. on June 7th, 2023. I appreciated listening to 4 of the current board members and their challengers last Thursday at the candidate forum. Your responses were enlightening and very informative. My hope is that you all vote for my father to keep his home, and in the future, reach out to our family if you have any concerns or questions. The word I vividly remember from all of the guests at the forum that evening was the word team, and how you all stated teamwork creates success. I am a firm believer in teamwork and hope that you all will work as a team to resolve this situation.
Thank you. Ms. Metcalf.
So good evening, members of the board, Dr. Goffney. Thank you for allowing me to address this pressing issue this evening, and that's the matter of acquiring the Upchurch family or the Upchurch family's property through eminent domain. As many of you know, I grew up in Aldine. Actually, I grew up alongside the Upchurch family, even going to church together when we were very young. So you read stories about eminent domain, but seldom does it hit so close to home. And never would have I expected my school district, the one I was raised in and the one that I worked in for so long, to pursue eminent domain just because the Upchurches said no. I stand before you today hopeful that this district is moving forward to a resolution, a favorable resolution, that will bring closure to the issue of eminent domain. Let us remember what's unique and special about Aldine, and this is important to me. You know, it's our history, our values, and it's our people. And we may be a large district, but everyone in the district, no matter where they live, that's Aldine. We're all Aldine. And we all have that, and we share that in common with one another. So we look after one another. And so that's a big part of Aldine, and that's why I'm here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to mess up anybody's last name, but the first name is Alma.
First name is Alma. That's me. Is the
Please.
last name Arteaga?
Please come forward. My apologies.
It's okay. Hello, good evening to everybody. My name is Alma Arteaga. I'm a taxpayer. I've been living here in this district, Aldine ISD, since 1988. My families live here. They've graduated also from the district. I remember getting my education, being an immigrant, and coming in and learning the basics. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. I want to know who approved, who read, and who decided that it was okay to come and try to remove Mr. Upchurch's property so that it could be part of a stadium. The gentleman is still alive. The gentleman, just like most of us, are up in age, and he should have a right to stay there until he, is not with us anymore. He should be at peace. Nobody should be forcing him to do anything like that. This should have never had been an issue in the first place. So back to basics. This is an education system, right? Right? So who, what, when, where, why, and how. And whoever is in charge of this, they shouldn't be in this. Whomever decided that this was okay, whoever brought it to the table, I am so sorry. I am also in the legal field, and I have the understanding that there's 2 attorneys here too. We have to investigate everything from beginning to end. And I would be very upset to know that somebody in my team has done something like this. It's an embarrassment. And again, my name is Alma Arteaga, and I'm a taxpayer, and also a mother and a protector. If y'all were in this situation, I would be here speaking for you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Ruben Salazar.
Good evening, Board Trustees and Superintendent Goffney. My name is Ruben Salazar, and I'm president of the East Aldine Civic Association. I'm here once again to speak on the agenda item regarding the district's unnecessary pursuit of Travis Upchurch's home and property by the use of eminent domain. I'm asking that you take no further action and end this ridiculous charade, which our community is overwhelmingly against. Several board trustees who attended the recent candidates forum stated that the truth would come out during this meeting, and for the sake of the Upchurch family, I hope it does. The Upchurch family has deep roots here in Aldine and have remained residents for nearly a century. Pursuing this property would crush the decades of family memories and Aldine history that exists on this property. There is absolutely no need to take this man's home away from him. I could care less about what color you are, or what your ethnicity is, or what you have or haven't had taken away from you in your life. This isn't about you, board members. This is about the history that you're proposing to destroy for the sake of a damn parking lot. This is about taking away the only home this man has ever known. If you choose to continue this pursuit, I will ensure that the future generations of our Aldine ISD students and residents remember who on this board supported this pathetic move made by the district. You should be ashamed of yourselves and you should be ashamed of this proposal even made it this far. You have the ability to put a stop by this and say no more, and do the right thing and let this man live out the rest of his days in peace and stay on the right side of East Aldine history. Thank you.
Thank you. Sean Parker.
Thank you for allowing the community to speak their mind. I don't have anything written down, so I'm just going to kind of wing it. I've known the Upchurch family for probably 20 plus years, if not more. I grew up with Justin, grew up with Tara. Bubba was a big part of my life. His land was a big part of my life. I spent a lot of time in their house. You know, it's sad that this has come to light and you're trying to take away this man's sanctity. You know, his family lost their mother, lost his dear wife a few years ago. Those are cherished memories that are all built into that house. It is not a safe thing to do to take away a man's property in his elder years. It can cause irreparable harm to him. There are science facts that are based on this study. I mean, there are just so many things out there that are not going to be good for his health at the end of the day. You know, as a school district, y'all have responsibility to take care of the school district. He's been paying his taxes for many, many years. He's watched 2 stadiums get built up with his tax dollars in his backyard. And now the school district is trying to take away his home with his tax dollars. So does that make sense to anybody? I mean, he's been a very contributable member to this Aldine School District. With that being said, I mean, I just hope there's going to be a better outcome than what it seems like there's going to be. It seems like there's been some good talking points between the Upchurch family and the board, good ideas that have been back and forth. So maybe need to kind of delve into that. They're not saying no, they're just saying not now. And with that, thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Ramos?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Araceli Ramos, and I'm here to speak as a community leader. I'm a community leader and advocate in education for more than 30 years. I'm one of those mothers, I'm one of those people that talk on the streets with students to go back to school. I'm one of the person that if I'm in the store and I see a young man in the store or a woman, I'll ask him, are you in school? Did you graduate? Why? How? Did you miss any information? Let me help you out. I'll bring you to those resources. I'll bring you to those people. In Lone Star, I have bring so many students to become educated. Education is an important key. And I know you're trying to do a wonderful job, and I'm proud of Aldine. I'm a graduated from Aldine. All my 5 children are in Aldine. 3 is still in Aldine. One of them is giving back as a teacher in Aldine, my oldest one. So I'm here because community reached out to me, community people, and they told me to come and tell you, please let Baba stay home. Let Baba stay home. What's that letting you know? There's love in the community. In the community, we care. Do you have a dream? I'm asking you, because when we grow up, we have dreams. And each and one of us dream is have a home. Well, this is Mr. Upchurch dream, have a home. Why y'all want to take his dream? I was praying, hoping that you thought about it and you're gonna leave Baba alone, his property, his dreams. Let him dream. Let him dream until God asks him to go with him. I know a lot of us are owners in Aldine. I'm one of them. And it'll break my heart. They will come and say, give me your house, or I'm gonna take your house. Because in that house, I have in my wall, in my doors, how each and one of my sons and daughters are growing. That's memories. That's memories that we all have. We all have dreams. Don't take his dream away, please. I'm asking you, please, shift your focus and away from eminent domain. Support our educators. Just provide those funds to support educators working hard, providing quality education to our students. To use those resources wisely and physically respond in responsible manners. Let's make Aldine proud again. Thank you.
Thank you. Chris Estata, was I close? Yes. All right.
Hello, good evening. My name is Chris Estaita, and I'm with Green Forest Civic Club. I was given this book.
Ma'am, could you please speak into the mic?
I was given this book, and it says 50 Years of Excellence. And in this book, it's just wonderful stories of the leaders that were before you. And they were visionaries, and I enjoyed reading it. But what struck out to me was when they wrote about Mr. Thorne, whom the stadium is named after. And it was very interesting because he was a visionary. He didn't have any controversy. And I really believed, and from what I read, is that he would have avoided it. Because he was a visionary. Visionaries, that's God-given. Not everybody has it. But he had it. And I believe that he would have avoided this. As a matter of fact, he would have done something completely different. And that's what he was. But when I read this, in this book, what I read, this is the only thing that spoke to me. And this is what I'm going to read. Until he passed away in August 2021, Thorne continued to live close to the college he founded, residing with his wife Iris in the same house they purchased when he was superintendent of Aldine Independent School District. He got to live in his home. He died at a good old age. And I remind you, all of us are going to do that, God willing, that we would be able to live to an old age and live in our homes that we fought so hard, that we worked so hard to get, to pay for, and to finally live, and be able to do other things. That's what stuck out to me. That's what spoke to me, that whoever wrote this book, whoever wrote it, they managed to put that one sentence in there about him. And I think that's beautiful, because of all the awards, all the how do you say, acclimates, everything that he did. Oh my gosh, this is more important than any of that. That he got to live to his old age, and he got to stay in his home. And I tell everybody here, this is what, the fight just doesn't end here. We need to lobby in Austin and change this eminent domain. And if we can't change it, we can still do something for the future and for 50 more years of this, and to help the people that live in this area, that it doesn't happen to them. And we're obligated to do that to our children, our grandchildren, and on and on and on. But we can fix it. It just doesn't stop here.
Thank you. Torah Upchurch.
Home. I'm not sure how or why it ended up on the agenda for tonight, but we're all eager and ready to see how you vote. If we need to tidy up our dad's property or take care of some overgrown trees in order for it to not be taken, we'll do that.
Our hope this whole time has been to have a direct conversation with you, and it's unfortunate that you were advised to not communicate with our family for so long. It would be great in the future, if needed, to have an option for open and direct communications with the district to avoid further heartache, stress, worry, wasted time, and money. This should have never escalated to where we are right now. And I don't blame you for that. You were presented bad information, but it's a sign that something here is broken. I'd like to take a moment to thank all the community members, organizations, news outlets, friends, and family who have advocated for our family. It's a testament to how deep Aldine roots run. Aldine has always been a rich and vibrant melting pot of hardworking, compassionate people who take care of each other. It's the definition of the word community. Eminent domain does not belong here, and tonight we're confident that you will do the right thing.
Thank you. Travis Upchurch.
Thank you for having us again. I attended the community forum last week with the candidates running for school board. I want to personally thank Dr. Booker, Viola Garcia, Jill Metcalf, and Araceli Ramos for taking the time to speak with my family afterwards. It meant a lot to us. Some comments to the question about eminent domain struck me as odd. I heard the statement, there is no eminent domain, and for the public to educate themselves. Allow me to be that educator. Eminent domain begins with a government's need for land, followed by negotiations with property owners for a fair market price. If an agreement isn't reached, a court may determine compensation. Once settled, the government acquires the property, period. These letters that keep getting sent to my dad's house sure do mention eminent domain quite a bit. This isn't fiction. I also heard about new information received by the board. How did the board get misled into believing that no one lived in my dad's house? Did anyone call him, leave a note, or notice dogs in the yard, or bother to look up the county tax records to see if it was homesteaded? We have been telling you this for months. He lives there. Why is this being voted on now on the eve of a school board and bond election that start next week? If, as we hope, you vote to stop this tonight, nothing is settled until we get something in writing. If one family's life can be turned upside down due to a clerical error, what else has been overlooked? I hope the individuals who made this error are not also the ones in charge of the $1.8 billion bond on the ballot next week. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion regarding the consent agenda items?
Mr. Bates, I move that items D1A, D2A, H1, H2, and M1 to M3 on the consent agenda be approved as printed.
Garcia seconds the motion.
Thank you for the motion and the second. We'll begin to vote with Mr. Steve Meade.
Meade, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Booker, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion passes. Do I hear a motion regarding the executive session agenda items?
I move that the board approve item N3B, the proposed termination of term contract for Jasmine Goodpoint, teacher at Grantham Academy. Render a finding that good cause exists to terminate her contract and authorize the superintendent to issue notice of proposed termination as discussed in executive session.
Esparza seconds.
Thank you for the motion and the second. We'll begin to vote with Mr. Paul Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Booker, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Meade, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion also passes. Do we have another motion?
Yes, a motion for N3C. I move that the board approve item N3C, the proposed termination of probationary contract for Taylor Duplation, teacher at Nimitz High School, render a finding that good cause exists to terminate her contract and authorize the superintendent to issue notice of proposed termination as discussed in executive session.
Thank you for the motion. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you for the motion and the second. We begin to vote with Mr. Steve Meade.
Meade, yes.
Garcia, yes. Esparza, yes.
Booker, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion passes. Do we have another motion?
Motion for item N3D. I move that the board approve item N3D, proposed termination of term contract for Delandra Cleaver, teacher at Ogden Elementary, rendering a finding that good cause exists to terminate her contract, and authorize the superintendent to issue notice of a proposed termination as discussed in executive session.
I second.
Thank you for the motion and the second. We begin to vote. Mr. Shanklin?
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Booker, yes.
Esparza, yes.
And Mead, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion passes. Is there another motion?
Motion for item N3E. I move that the board render a finding that good cause did not exist for Cassandra Penn, term contract teacher at Irma Elementary, to resign without consent under section 21.210C of the Texas Education Code, and authorize the superintendent to submit a written complaint for sanction to State Board of Educator certification as discussed in executive session.
Garcia seconds the motion.
Thank you for the motion and the second. We begin to vote with Mr. Steve Mead.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Booker, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion passes. Do we have another motion?
I move that the board render a finding that good cause did not exist for Nancy Erickson, probationary contract teacher at Jones Elementary, to resign without consent under section 21.205C of the Texas Education Code, and authorize the superintendent to submit a written complaint for sanctions to the State Board of Educator certification as discussed in executive session.
Esparza seconds.
Thank you for the motion and the second. We begin to vote with Mr. Shanklin.
Shanklin, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Booker, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Mead, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion passes. Is there another motion?
Motion for item N4EA and 4B. I move that the board rescind the approval of the resolutions dated November the 15th, 2022, and April 18th, 2023, to acquire property by eminent domain located at 1926 Aldine Meadows and 1810 Aldine Meadows, and that all negotiations cease as discussed in executive session.
Shanklin seconds.
Thank you for the motion and second. We begin to vote with Mr. Steve Mead.
Mead, yes.
Garcia, yes.
Esparza, yes.
Booker, yes.
Avalos, yes.
Shanklin, yes.
I also vote yes. That motion passes. Dr. Goffin, do you have? Dr. Goffney, do you have any new staff recognitions for this month?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, Board of Trustees, and all those in attendance. We'd like to celebrate Ms. Sylvia Sherman. She is being promoted from Opportunity Culture Coordinator to Director of the Office of Transformation. She has 18 years of experience in the field of education. Ms. Sylvia Sherman is excited to broaden her work with such an amazing team by expanding opportunities for students that will positively impact student growth and achievement. Dr. Bustillos, our Chief Transformation Officer, stated that Ms. Sherman has demonstrated her leadership abilities in launching and supporting the Opportunity Culture cohorts. Her ability to work cross-functionally with departments, school leaders, and school partners shows her collaborative leadership. Mrs. Sherman has the ability to leverage her social and emotional learning background to further support the work ahead of her. Her collaborative leadership will enhance the support in the Office of Transformation. Please join me in congratulating Ms. Sylvia Sherman, the new director in the Office of Transformation.
Buenas tardes y muchísimas gracias, Dr. Goffney, Board of Trustees, y el Dr. Bustillos. Estoy muy agradecida. Entonces, muchas gracias por esa oportunidad. I'm excited to be given this opportunity to broaden my work with such an amazing team by expanding opportunities for students, which will positively impact student growth and achievement. I would also like to take a moment to thank my husband, Ben, 3 of our 5 children, Noah, Isaac, Isabella, and one of my beloved colleagues, Gabby Sierra. Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Congratulations, we're so proud. Our next announcement is to Dr. Lindsay Wise, who has been promoted from Director of Learning, Recovery, Tutoring, and Student Initiatives to Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning. She has 16 years of experience in the field of education. Dr. Wise is excited for the opportunity to take on this new role and work collaboratively across departments and campuses to build cohesion with instructional practices, ensure differentiated learning opportunities for all staff and students, along with sound data analysis protocols with informed decision-making. Dr. Ken Tu, our Chief Academic Officer, is quoted as saying, "I am thrilled to introduce the new Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, Dr. Lindsay Wise. She grew up in Aldine, attended Aldine schools, and graduated from Nimitz High School. Dr. Wise is well known for her analytical approach as a systems builder and unwaveringly dedicated to the students and families of Aldine. Dr. Cantu is confident in Dr. Wise's ability to drive excellence across the district. The teaching and learning team is genuinely excited to welcome her to the team and eagerly anticipates the transformative impact she will undoubtedly bring in this new role. Congratulations, Dr. Lindsay Wise, our new Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning."
Good evening, President Bates, Dr. Goffney, members of the board. I would like to thank you all for this amazing opportunity. I never thought after graduating from Nimitz almost 21 years ago that I would be standing here today. I've had many great leaders along the way that I've learned from. I want to thank Mr. Stewart and Dr. Rodriguez. They're in the virtual audience tonight. Your mentorship has been one that is unmatched. I'd also like to thank Dr. Cantu for this opportunity to join the Teaching and Learning Department. I'm ready to get to work and strengthen the learning experience for all staff and students across the district. So thank you. Here with me tonight, I have my husband, Kurt, my son, Carter. He's quieter this time, so that's good. We're getting older, we're learning. And then, of course, my parents, Debbie and Keith. Thank you.
Congratulations, Dr. Lindsay Wise. Mr. President, Board of Trustees, that concludes our announcements for tonight.
Thank you. School board members attended several conferences in September. At this time, if any board members would like to comment on the conferences attended, Mrs. Sparger, I believe you.
Thank you, Mr. Bates. I'd like to address the conference that I attended as a representative of the Aldine School District. Just for information, MASBA is the acronym, MASBA is the acronym for Mexican American School Boards Association. This year, the MASBA conference was held September the 14th through the 16th in San Antonio, Texas, at the Westin Riverwalk. A brief history of MASBA. It's a nonprofit organization that has been in existence for 50 years and was recently restructured from a 20-plus member board to a 12-member board. After submitting my application, I was elected and sworn in at the conference to serve a 2-year term as MASBA's parliamentarian. This year, MASBA launched its district art contest, and I want to congratulate the students. Students were asked to enter an art piece that was judged and later sold, with all proceeds going back directly to the students. I want to again congratulate them and acknowledge our amazing Aldine student, Veronica Calderon, who won first place in the student art competition for her work entitled La Esperanza del Baile. She was awarded $1,000 scholarship. Similar to a TED Talk is a Thomas Talk. It's a short presentation of a key idea or topic. This year, we had another 2 amazing Aldine students. Aaron Cabrero from Avalos P-Tech Early College High School, and Marta Mata Melchor from Eisenhower High School, who participated in the Thomas Talks. Opening keynote was delivered by Secretary Julian Castro, followed by many concurrent sessions, gala dinner, awards, and dance. Our other amazing speakers included a town hall with Commissioner Mike Morath and Texas Higher Education Commissioner Harrison Keller. No MASPA conference is complete without mariachis, and thus Mariachi Orgullo helped close the conference under the direction of Eduardo Cantu. Looking forward to our next conference next September in 2024, same time and same place, same station. I invite you to visit our website at www.masbatx.org. We are also on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you. Mr. Shanklin?
Yes. On September the 29th, I attended the TASB convention and was part of a group of new leadership TASB members. And I'm glad to announce that Leadership TASB 24 is going to be the greatest TASB of all time. I think all the classes say that. The thing that I felt absolutely remarkable is how similar the 36 people are across the state of Texas. I don't know if you are familiar with the imposter syndrome, but I definitely felt like an imposter among those people. They are some of the most passionate educators, volunteers, committed people to public education that I've ever met in my life. And I'm looking forward to this year. Similar to all, special education, SPED, is across the district a very, very, very important topic. It is the motivator for most of the people that are on the school boards. And I found that very, very interesting. The mental health of our children coming out of COVID is also a very, very, very big topic. This year, we're going to be focusing on advocacy. And what advocacy means to us as individuals on our board and as it means to a state. A few things that I think we're going to be pointed out is that we're going to use advocacy for growth in the political process. We can see what's happening right now in the state of Texas, what's just happened in the Senate. We need to advocate for every child, not just one child. We need to leverage our government relations staff. I mean, and if our government relations people are here, we need to get together because we need to get those a little bit more involved. Lobby our efforts in our individual industries and our individual people in the community to advocate on behalf of our students. We need to raise the basic allotment. However, given what just happened in the Senate, that may not happen. And the thing that I'm really going to be passionate about is that we need to be grading our students on something other than a test. Mr. Mead and I were part of a group once before, and there are a lot of ways to grade the success of a school district. A test is only one tool in all of that. But we give so much credit to that one test, it doesn't properly reflect what the school district, ours or any others, are doing it. So the accountability system has to be worked on, and I'm looking forward to this year because it's, again, this great group of people will be the greatest leadership TASB class that has ever been. Thank you, Mr. Bates.
I don't know why you keep looking at me when you say the greatest leadership TASB class. Any other board member like to make any other comments? Ms. Avalos.
Yes, I serve as on the board of directors for TASB, and we met a lot during the conference. I only had one afternoon to attend some sessions. What some of you may not know is this was supposed to be my last year as a director because Aldine lost that slot because our enrollment went down. And I was asked to run for the Klein director's position because she was going to resign and not run again. And so I had to go through an interview process, and they recommended, they would recommend one person that interviewed, so they did recommend me. But the way that our policy is that I could have been challenged from the floor during the delegate assembly by any member of TASB. But nobody dared challenge me, so I didn't have to get up and give a speech, which I would have had to do if they had challenged me. So I'm serving another year, and we'll see after that. Thank you.
Mr. Meade?
I've been going to these conventions for 17 years since I've been on the board. And years back, when Dr. Garcia was the president of TASB, we got to carry our kids up and expose them to other people. And this time, Dr. Goffney was president of the TAFA, and we got to bring our kids again. And I was hoping, I wanted to say something while these people were all here. What you're looking at on the screen a while ago, these were our kids performing up in Dallas. They're awesome kids, and who says any kid can't learn? These kids are great, and as far as I'm concerned, what Paul was saying about grades, I think grades are important, but kids learn by being in arts and sports and things like that. And I was just so impressed with our kids that day, and we have our tags on. We walk around, and people would pull you over and say, "Oh, your kids were so great." It makes you feel so good. I was kidding one time about when Dr. Garcia was the president of the TAFB convention, and the school board at that time was nominated for the board of the year. So we interviewed for that position, and then we came out and we watched our kids perform. We had people climbing up ropes. We had art going on in the front. Our kids performing just like they were this time. And that little kid, the mariachi singer, I'm gonna tell you what, that kid is so awesome. I was just so impressed with those kids. A lot of good things happen in Aldine that the people don't really know about, you know, and I just think seeing these kids perform like that, it's just wonderful. And let me finish my statement. What I was going to say, we interviewed, and then we watched our kids perform, and I told everybody, you know what? If our kids would have performed before we did the interview, we'd have won Board of the Year. They were just that awesome. So I think it's great. I do love to go to the classes. This year, Kimberly and I went to classes together. I think it's important that we go to classes, that we think we can learn something that can come back and help our superintendent or help our team here. And so I think it's good we go. I did go to one of the classes I really liked, and I knew this lady that was putting it on. Her name was Dr. Goffney, and Shalia, and they did a wonderful job. When I went to the MOSBA convention, there was one class that I took before the convention started from 10 to 3 o'clock, and it was all about involving kids, our students, in our process of board work and other things that we do. And Dr. Goffney and Shalia put on a presentation of what we do in Aldine, where each of the principals picks certain students and from each high school, and they put together their Dr. Goffney's team. And she gets information from them, what the kids are thinking about, what we can do different in the school and things like that. And I'm always hoping, and I'm told we are, I want to see all kids involved in that. I want to be sure that not all just the A students. I want other kids involved that, you know, to give their side of the story or what they think. I think we do that. But I think that'd be good in any school district to have this kind of ambassador program where we listen to our kids and learn from our kids. They have a lot to say, and we can learn a lot from those kids. But it was a great conference. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed most of the programs. But Emily is a better note taker than me, so I'm going to ask her. She got some note to take on. We did one vaping, which was a good class we went through, and she has some thoughts on that as well, and maybe some more. So I'm going to turn the mic over to my friend, Dr. Kimberly Booker.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoy going to the convention, and as Mr. Meade said, we took a lot of our classes together. Mr. Meade is a strong advocate for us to bring back the information to our district and to board members. He really likes us going together so we can hear the information together. But some of the sessions that we went to talked about safety and security, which is very near and dear for me as an educator myself. And they were talking about the 7 questions that we should be asking that we don't. And that's for superintendents and board members, safety and security questions. Also, we know that vaping is serious throughout the district, throughout the state. not just an Aldine issue. A lot of our students not only have tobacco in the vapes, they have THC. So we went to a session talking about what we can do for our students and how we can help them. And also retention, that's another big topic for me, making sure that we take care of our crew, making sure we take care not only our students, but our employees. And this year, I was blessed enough to be a delegate and represented Aldine, and I got to vote on things such as the 2022 through 24 TASB advocacy agenda, also the TASB bylaws, and the TASB leadership for 23 through 24. So going to the convention, it gives you a different perspective, and it also gives you more knowledge to be a better board member.
Thank you. Dr. Garcia?
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to share. I just want to express that we always learn, and there is never a time when we can say we know all that we need to know. So one of the sessions that I attended was on artificial intelligence. It's a very big thing in our world today, and I'm excited to understand a little bit more about the prospects for Aldine ISD in terms of students and employees and staff, teachers in particular, and I would be very excited to learn that there is a task force or there is an opportunity for the employees, the teachers in particular, to participate in the initiatives to develop and create opportunities for the use of AI in our schools. So I look forward to hearing more about what we're doing here in Aldine regarding AI. Thank you.
Thank you. School board members must complete training that is required by the State Board of Education, and the board president must publicly announce whether each board member has met their training requirements. The announcement must be made at the last regular meeting of the board before an election of trustees. Annual announcement provides consistent public transparency and accountability. Board members must receive continuing education training in 8 areas, including local district orientation, if applicable, orientation to the Texas Education Code, post-legislative update to the Texas Education Code, team building minimum 3 hours annually, additional training, additional continuing education based on the framework of governance leadership, 5 hours annually, 10 hours for first year on the school board, evaluating and improving district outcomes, 3 hours biannually, child abuse prevention, school safety. All board members must complete the annual team building training hours. All of our board members have met and exceeded additional continuing education training hours. These hours are from November 1, 2022 through October 11, 2023. Randy Bates, position 1, has completed 114.75 hours. Paul Shanklin, position 2, has completed 42 hours. Rose Avalos, position 3, has completed 40.75 hours. Connie Esparza, position 4, has completed 55.25 hours. Steve Meade, position 5, has completed 39 hours. Kimberly Booker, position 6, has completed 25 hours. Viola Garcia, position 7, has completed 41.75 hours. All board members have completed the biennial training on evaluating and improving student outcomes. The following board members have completed biennial training on child abuse prevention. Mr. Randy Bates, Dr. Kimberly Booker, Mrs. Connie Esparza, Dr. Viola Garcia, Mr. Steve Meade, and Mr. Paul Shanklin. The following board members have time remaining to complete the biennial training on child abuse prevention. Ms. Rose Avalos. The following board members have completed the biennial training on school safety. Mr. Randy Bates, Ms. Rose Avalos, Ms. Connie Esparza, Dr. Viola Garcia, Mr. Steve Meade, and Mr. Paul Shanklin. The following board member has time remaining to complete the biennial training on school safety, Dr. Kimberly Booker. Mr. Sparza, do we have any board committee reports or updates?
Mr. Bates, we do not have any at this time.
Thank you. This is the portion of the board meeting when the board receives input from members of the public. Ms. LaEra, did we receive any online written comments? Okay, thank you. Did we receive forms from members of the public who are present? And I have one, correct? For each person present in the boardroom who wishes to address the board, you will have 3 minutes to speak. There's a timer at the podium and on the wall that will indicate when your 3 minutes are up. When necessary for effective meeting management or to accommodate large numbers of individuals wishing to address the board, the presiding officer may make adjustments to public comment procedures, including adjusting the time allotted to each speaker. Because of topic posted requirements of the Open Meeting Act, board members are not permitted to answer any questions posed to the board by the patron, and no action can be taken on any issue presented during this time. If you wish to ask questions of the board, you may submit them in writing, addressed to the superintendent's office, and the board may consider them at a subsequent meeting. If you are an employee or employee's representative, please be advised that the grievance policy deadlines are not waived. If you have documents to pass out to the board, please identify those documents. Finally, be aware that the rules of decorum will be enforced during the public comment period. Please refrain from making comments directed at specific individual employees or students by name to avoid any potential breach of confidentiality. If you have complaints regarding specific individuals, please provide those in writing addressed to the superintendent for her attention. Each participant is legally responsible for the content and consequence of his or her statements. Ms. Glover, you waited a long time. Please come forward. Thank you for your patience.
Good evening, Mr. Bates, Dr. Goffney, and the board members. I just basically wanted to introduce myself as the president of the Transport Workers Union of America and let you know that tonight we were here just to be a friendly face. We understood what you guys had to go through, and we just wanted to show our support. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Meade, second.
Second.
Second by Dr. Garcia. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. We are adjourned. The time is, what time? That ain't right. 8:21. Thank you. Drive safely, everyone.